Welcome. This is the review for the algebra test on chapter 6. The first question asks for the slope. You're just going to identify where the line crosses the grid in the x and y direction, and then you're just going to count. Again, make sure it crosses right on the grid, and you're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4. That's down 4 and over 1. So my answer is going to be down 4. We're doing the rise over the run. So the rise is 4, the run is 1, but it's going downhill, so we want to put negative. So it's negative 4. The slope is negative 4. Okay, so be careful with that. If it's going uphill, like I think the next question is, you're going to have a positive slope. So we're going to do the same thing with the next one. Find out where it crosses perfectly on the grid, and then count up 2 over 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 2 and a 4. And then if we put it as a fraction, the rise is 2, the run is 4. That's 1/2, and it's going uphill. So that's positive 1/2, and that's choice A. Looking at the next question, we have find the slope and the y-intercept of the line. Well, hopefully by now you know that this is in y equals mx plus b form. And you know that m is the slope value. So in this case, the m would be the 3/2. Okay, so we're looking at either B or C as an answer. All right, and then what else you know is that the B value is the y-intercept. So plus 9 is the y-intercept, so that would be choice C. Moving on to the next page. Write the equation of a given line. Write an equation of a line with a given slope and y-intercept. So we're going to do just like we did in the last question. Y equals mx plus b. M is negative 3, so that's going to be in front. So y equals negative 3x, and then b is 6, and what we could say is it's positive 6. Positive 6, and the only one that matches that is letter D. Moving on to the next one, it wants you to write the equation of the line in slope-intercept form. Okay, now this one is a little tricky because it lands right between 0 and negative 1. But we can see that that is negative 1/2 right there. So that's our intercept. So we're only going to look at equations that have negative 1/2 on them as the intercept. So now it's just our job to find out what the rise is. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So rise is 7 and the run is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So my rise and my run is 7 over 8. So that would be choice B. Okay, moving on to question number 6. Use the slope-intercept formula to graph the equation. Okay, well, what you have to do with this question is realize that you're going to start. Remember, we said in class y equals mx plus b, as in begin. We're going to begin at -3. So which of these graphs begin at -3 or can go through -3? Well, these 3 go through -3. This one does not, so that one's not. We're not going to worry about that. Now we got to see which one has a negative slope. Well, only A and B have negative slopes, so we're not going to consider that one. Now we have to see which one has a slope of negative 1/3. Well, the rise is 1 and the run is 3. So let's start with this one. If I go down 1 and over 3, I'm over here. Down 1 over 3. The line should look like that. And that just brings us right to this question here, which is down 1 over 3. Down 1 over 3. Okay, so B is the correct choice for that. Moving on to finding the y and x intercepts for the next equation for number 7. Remember, to find the x-intercept, or the x-intercept, and that's the first thing they want you to find, the x-intercept, you're going to let y equal 0. When we let y equal 0, we get 2x plus 3 times 0 equals negative 18. That turns into 2x equals negative 18. We're going to divide both sides by 2, and we're going to get the x-intercept. So 2x equals negative 18. Negative 18 divide by 2, and you get x equals negative 9. Well, the only choices that has negative 9 is this one here, letter B. But let's figure out what the y-intercept is just to see if it jives. So to get the y-intercept, you're going to let x equal 0. So when I let x equal 0, 2 times 0 plus 3y. Notice how I don't let y equal 0, I let x equal 0. That goes away, and I'm left with 3y equals 18. And y, 3 divided by both sides, is going to be 6. Oops, it's negative 18, sorry. So it's negative 6. So that is choice B. Okay, number 8 is like what we've done for the last couple weeks. We need to use the point slope form, and you have to remember that point slope is y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. You need a point and a slope. Well, we have a point and a slope, and we need to create the equation. Okay? So remember, we're going to sub in y minus, but since it's a minus 6, I'm going to put plus 6 equals m. Oops, sorry. We know what m is. That's 3/5 x minus 4. And if we look through the questions here, the only one that has, these two have plus, and the one that has the parentheses and written the correct way is letter B, number 8. Moving on to number 9. Are the graphs of these lines parallel? Well, if graphs are parallel, they have to have the same slope. So we need to know that y equals mx plus b, that m is the slope. So for the first one, the slope is negative 8. You can just see it right there. Slope's negative 8. However, for the second one, that's in standard form, ax plus by equals c form. And the slope for that is the negation of the a value over the b value. And in this one, the negation of the a value, well, if I look at 8x, and I compare it to my formula, 8x plus y equals negative 11, my a is 8, and my y, well, I'm sorry, not my y, my b value, a is 8, and my b value is, well, there isn't a b value there, but there is. There's a 1 there. Okay, so negative 8, this slope turns into negative 8 over 1, which is negative 8. And since this slope matches this slope, they are parallel. Okay, yes, since the slopes are the same, okay, now, are the y-intercepts different? And the answer is yes, they are. Okay, well, how do we figure that out? Well, I could just bring this 8x over here, and I have y equals negative 8x minus 11, and the other one is y equals negative 8x minus 7. So the answer is yes, the intercepts are different. So letter 9 is letter C. Number 10. Okay, write the equation line for the given, write the equation for a line that is parallel to the given line and passes through the point. Okay, again, we need to know what the slope of this line is. Well, m is 2. And we're going to use this point here and the fact that m equals 2 and put it in our point slope equation. Y, and since it's negative, y plus 3 equals 2x plus 2. Now, to get it to look like our answers, we need to distribute the 2. So I get y plus 3 equals 2x plus 4. Then bring the 3 over by subtraction, and finally we have y equals 2x plus 1. Okay, and that's the letter D, number 10. Finally, 11, we want to know if they're parallel or perpendicular. Again, we need to find the slopes. These are both in ax plus by form, so m is equal to negative the a over the b. Well, for the first equation, it's the negation of 7 over negative 4. And then the second equation, it's the negation of 1 over negative 4. Okay, these numbers are not the same, so they can't be parallel, and they're not the reciprocals of each other, so they can't be perpendicular, so it's choice A. Moving on to the last page. Now, if you've got the answers for these, the answer key does not match the numbers that are given here. So let's work with these numbers here. Now, this is the meat of the test here. You're going to want to know this inside and out. So let's start with the formula for slope. M equals change in y, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Rise over run. We're going to do the math. Negative 4 minus a minus 10. So this is my y2, this is my y1. And conversely, this is my x2 and my x1. So 2 minus 4. And we're going to get, now I got to make sure I be careful with my math here, I get 6 over negative 2, which is a negative 3. So my slope is negative 3. Be careful. Okay. Okay, so our next step on this is what we've been doing all week, or for the last couple of weeks, is write the equation, or write the formula out. Y minus y1 equals m x minus x1. And then let's just fill in the values. Y plus 10. Again, if it's minus, we're going to write a plus here. Okay, equals m. Well, m is negative 3. X minus 4. And then over here, I'm going to write the same, use the same formula, but put in different points. Y plus 4 equals m, which is negative 3, x minus 2. So these are the two answers that go down here for this form. Okay, now it says transform. I'll give you the space here. And we're going to do the y equals mx plus b form, or the slope-intercept form. And that's y equals mx plus b in slope-intercept form. But we have to do some work here. It says show work here, but let's show the work up here. So I'm going to rewrite this equation here, y plus 10. I'm going to distribute that negative 3. Negative 3x plus 12. Okay? And then I'm going to subtract 10 from both sides, and I get y equals negative 3x plus 2. Well, let's see if we get the same thing over here. I'm going to rewrite this up here. Y plus 4 equals negative 3x plus 6. Subtract 4 from each side, and I get y equals negative 3x plus 2. So it checks. I'm happy because I got the same answer. I'm going to come down here and put my answer for, your answer in this form would be y equals negative 3x plus 2. Moving down from there to the next page, I'm going to transform it to standard form. Again, you should know from the beginning of the test that standard form is ax plus by equals c form. Okay, you should know that from the beginning. Hopefully you've been using it all along. Okay, if you can't read that, ax plus by equals c form. Okay, well, I'm going to take my y equals negative 3x plus 2 and just change it to standard form. And what you do is just move this x over, and you put the opposite sign over here. So 3x plus y equals 2. So that's standard form. 3x plus y equals 2. Okay, I just want to check and see, make sure I wrote the right equation down. And it was negative 3x plus 2. Good. Okay, now I need the intercepts. Okay, well, the intercepts, we've already figured the intercepts out for one of the intercept, the y-intercept is right here. The y-intercept's right there. So theoretically, you could just go right here and say the y-intercept is 2. The ordered pair is 0, 2. Or we could do like in class, let's let x equals 0, and you're going to get y equals, well, I'm sorry, yep, let x equals 0, and we can put it in any one of the equations, but let's use standard form, and you get 3 times 0 plus y equals 2, or y equals 2, and that checks with what we have. Now let's get the x-intercept. Let's let y equals 0. Okay, and we're going to get 3x plus y, plus 0 equals 2. And then when I solve for that, I'm just basically going to have 3x equals 2, divide both sides by 3, and I get x equals 2/3. Now that's not a very good number, but it's still the x-intercept. The x-intercept is 2/3. The ordered pair is 2, 3. So this is the x, this is the y value. This is the x, this is the y value. But this is the intercept. 2 and 2/3 is the x-intercept. And 2 is the y-intercept. Graph the equation. Now, you got to be careful here because the intercepts are hard to, the y-intercept's easy. It's right here, 2. But the x-intercept, it should be in at 2/3, like here somewhere. Okay, that's going to be a tough one to figure out. So what I have to do is let's use the slope-intercept form. Y equals negative 3x plus 2 equals negative 3x plus 2. Let's use that form. Okay, and if you use that form, we're going to do a slope of negative 3. Well, that means go down 3 and right 1. Down 3. 1, 2, 3, right 1. So I should be right there. Down 3 from there. Right 1, right there. Okay, so now when I connect those dots, I'm going to have a line like that. And you can see that, yeah, so we'll put arrowheads at the end. My intercept is 2/3 here, and my intercept here is 2. Y equals 2, 2/3 equals x, or x equals 2/3. And I'm going to label my line y equals negative 3x plus 2. Or I could label it with my standard form, which is 3x plus y equals 2. 3x plus y equals 2. And you make sure your axes are labeled, your arrowheads are at the end of your axes, and you're on your way. So please make sure you know how to do this. Pause the video, go back, and you'll do well. So God bless you, and I hope you do well.